Well, back one more time, Seven Rivers Racing here on KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losi. Our guest this program is the Honey Badger, newly named at the Crosse Speedway this year. And I'll just let folks kind of figure out why we call Brent Kirchner the Honey Badger. That nickname is going to stick here. We need to get some Honey Badger number 8 shirts.
That would be awesome.
We need to do that this year.
We can work on that. This is the guy we need to talk to right here.
That's right. That's right. The shirt man himself. Yep. Now, how can we whip up a batch of
we could do
City
something.
Auto Sales number 8 Brent Kirchner Honey Badger shirts?
A big old paw coming out.
And a big caption on the back without bleeping out some certain...
That would be okay.
Brent's one of those drivers this year that it just kind of started. He's got a new teammate this year coming out of the Sportsman and Outlaw ranks, John Olson of Sparta. And it was kind of interesting because we had gone to Corey Jankowski's post-season race party last year, and John was there with his entourage, and Brent and I pulled up, and you guys just kind of made a connection right there, and kind of walk us through what happened between November and the first race this year. How did you guys form this team?
Well, we met that night up there at the Smoker, and just started talking, and one thing led to another. We didn't talk for like a month, and then started talking some more right around Daytona 500 time, and put some things together, and the rest is history.
You know, when you look at putting someone in one of your cars, and I mean, you've got a nice garage, you've got the tools you need, you've got the parts you need, there has to be a sense of, in the back of your head, of trust. Because you look at a late model machine, I don't know exactly what a typical late model machine costs. When you're talking, if you put your 8 right out there right now, from front to back, what the price tag is, it's a pretty penny. How much trust do you still lay in week to week with a guy that you really don't know, whether he's a fantastic driver or not?
You do put a lot of trust into him. You know, it's a lot of money. And you know the driver's ability when you ask them to drive your car, you know what they're capable of, and you already have an idea what they're all about. So you just pick the best driver you can probably come up with, and hope they do a good job for you.
Now, one question that I've heard asked to me many times so far in this young race season when it comes to teammates is, okay, Brent Kirchner owns the team. John Olson's driving for the team. When it comes down to crunch time, is Johnny supposed to get out of the way and let Brent win a race, or is Johnny going to be out there and be hands-free and do what he wants to do? And I've heard this with many of the teams this year. I understand from talking to you and John, the situation is, and correct me if I'm wrong, if Johnny's got a chance to win a race, he's going to win a race.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I told them. Obviously each situation's different. You got different rules for whatever you got going on and how much is in play. But otherwise, you just tell them to go out and run their own race. If they got a better car than you do, so be it.
So give us a grade so far, and I'm going to let John know we're talking about him on the program. We're 3 races in, and obviously you don't get to watch what he's doing out there, but you guys talk afterwards. You talk during the week back in the shop. What's your early season grade on John Olson?
I think he's done a great job. I mean, we had a little problem 2 weeks ago. Got the car, banged up a little bit, but nothing major. We fixed it, and it's back, and everything's good. But I would say probably a C or a B. He's done good. Stayed out of trouble for the most part, and everything's going good.
But then we're also talking about a guy, though. This is his first year running a late model. He's run Outlaws. And he's run tracks like in Marshfield with a very fast car. But he also has kind of a niche because he's got a Sportsman Championship under his belt on that big track. So obviously, a lot goes into play when I ask you to grade somebody. But because of his knowledge and because he's been out there for a while, you would expect about the C to start things off.
Well, I knew right away the opening night when we went out there and tested, and I could tell right away that we were in good shape. He had good car control. Held his groove real good, didn't have a problem there. So I knew we were in good shape. He just needs to get some bugs worked out of the car, and he's definitely capable as a driver, so hopefully we can get the car to where it needs to be and he can win some races.
Now, you guys are teammates, and the reason for having teammates, a lot of the reason is when you're so high up in the points battle like yourself, if something should happen to your car mechanically or otherwise in practice or in qualifying, you want to be able to jump into that car and use it. Now, I don't know what your relationship is with him as a teammate, but do you go out during the week or beforehand and make sure that that car is set up for you as well?
The setup on both cars are real similar, actually. So for us to put our tires and stuff on that and go run it, it would be real similar, you know. So, yeah.
Now, folks may not know that during the off-season, Brent had the opportunity, a fantastic opportunity, to buy Chris Wimmer's championship super late model car from last year. He won there was a 300-lap
World Crown 300.
World Crown 300 card sitting in Brent's garage. Now, you're going to have the opportunity here on June 12th, and talking with your crew members, I know you're getting kind of excited for this big ASA Howie Little 150 race coming up in Milwaukee in June.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. We just picked up the motor last night, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time.
Now, how much seat time do you have behind the seat of a late model? Because I know that if you look at what you do in the season at Oktoberfest, you can very easily convert into a Big 8, and you run very successfully when the Big 8s run here at Oktoberfest. How much seat time do you have behind the wheel of a super late model?
Well, we ran the AutoZone Touring, which was the old Arco series, from 2003 to 2006. So, I mean, we've been all over the country, different tracks.
And you won in that division too, didn't you?
Yeah, we won our home race back here at La Crosse.
Well, matter of fact, if memory serves me correctly, you won the very last race of that series before the series disbanded.
Yeah, the Farewell 150, which was, yeah, the very last tour race.
Got to see some video of the championship deal that, you know, like Crosse Speedway has the big banquet at the end of the year. I saw some video that Brent had of some of the other drivers were there that are running Spring Cup right now, and some names that used to race, and it was really one of those momentous videos. Right. I'm sure Brent's going to keep in the can and keep close to him here for the eternity, because it was really neat to see him get some of the hardware that was handed out during that race.
And if you walk into his shop, he's got that banner from that farewell.
Well, he's got the banner, he's got hoods, he's got trophies that need dusted off too. We need to. Little Nate Butterfield runs go-karts. Nate, we're going to put a skirt on him, and he's going to dust off those trophies one of these weekends. We're going to make that happen. All right, Brent, continued success this year, currently sitting second in late model points. He's leading the late model dash points, and we told you from the very outset of this program to start the race season, he's going to be one to watch, and so far has held steadfast when we talk about that. So, Brent, we appreciate you coming on the program.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to have Brent come up later on this year. Brent came on and we talked safety at the end of last race season, and we may have him come back up and talk about that again. We were talking some right after the Indy crash last year when Dan Weldon passed away, so maybe we'll get Brent's insights again. I'd like to thank the sponsors of the program. We will be back next week with more insights of the La Crosse Speedway. Remember, Nights of Thunder, Sunday nights at 7 o'clock. For Al Losi, I'm Dan Dyker along with Brent Kirchner. This is Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV. All right, cool.